Years ago, when I started the greatest EU4 series of all time, EU4 A to Z, the first native nation we ever played was the tiny one-province minor country of Arawak in South America. And the concept was pretty simple. Could we defeat the colonizers as the weakest native nation? Now, for those of you that haven't seen the video, spoiler alert, we didn't manage to defeat the colonizers, but nevertheless, that video is still my third most popular EU4 A to Z video ever. And even though failures were permitted in EU4 A to Z, it just didn't sit right with me after I remembered this playthrough. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think you know where this is going. Years later, can we go back to EU4 with our newfound skill and once again try and defeat the colonizers as the weakest native nation? Let's jump in. Alright, here we are back as Arawak, I should say, and boy does this take me back, man. I did this playthrough I think in November of 2021, so it's been almost 5 years since I've played this country, and you know, when I started A to Z, man, you know, I was like, wait, I do gotta play these native countries, don't I? Oh my god, this is gonna suck, everyone's gonna hate this video, blah blah blah. But like I just said in the intro, man, it turned out to be one of the most popular videos ever in EU4 A to Z, even though it was a failure. So it's time to go back and try it all over again. And this doesn't mean I'll be replaying all of my A to Z failures though, but let me know in the comments if you want to see something like that. Either way, man, Arawak, one location, minor country in South America. Obviously, we can migrate right here when devastation becomes too high because we're grazing and raising and stuff like that. We start up with the clan council tier 1 government reform. Really what we gotta do is reform into one, you know, of these modern countries or a horde or something like that to be able to settle all of this land. And we got just about 60 years to do it before the colonizers come knocking because, well, we're in Brazil and they get here pretty quickly. But yeah, those 60 years are gonna be a lot of pain and suffering while we wait. So yeah, the setup is actually fairly simple. We don't have any estates. Really what we do is just wait around to get other reforms. If we make some money, we can probably put down a couple of these buildings that speed up, you know, what you call it, like tribal development growth, for example, and then you know, this one, monthly reform progress and advisor discounts and stuff like that. But aside from that, man, it's just chilling and doing nothing. We'll migrate around, we'll fight like Carib or something like that. Maybe some of these other guys, depending on where we go. And we'll try and get as much, you know, land added to our tribal land as we can before the colonizers show up. But really not a lot to say right here. I mean, we get rid of these guys, max this out, drop this down, maybe one advisor or I don't know. But yeah, either way, to reform into a horde, which is what we want to do in order to settle our land, we need Miltech 6 and to get to here, which is, you know, quite a lot of reform progress. Good thing I'm playing on an actual PC this time instead of you know, $300 laptop like I was when I started making content full time. I think by that point I may have had a PC though, I don't know. But you can see actually how quick time goes by. So maybe in real life, it's not gonna be that much waiting around. But yeah, we're just chilling, man, trying to get enough money at this point to put down probably the ceremonial fire pit first because we need the reform progress. So yeah, we just need to wait to get 200 ducats. Once we get you know, quite a lot of devastation over here, like between 10 and 20%. Between 10 and 20%, we'll migrate like to here or something like that, you know? In the meantime, though, the only way we can keep an eye out on the colonizers and what they might be doing is from the Great Powers list, which obviously, you know, we expect to see England, France, and Castile, and eventually Portugal over here as well. If one of them falls off, we'll know that they're not having a good time. If one of them jumps up too high, we know they're having a great game, and they're even more dangerous. The worst part is, you know, all of these guys, except for France, usually tend to ally each other. So if I fight one of them, I gotta fight all of them. By the way, I am permitting myself a failure in this run as well, just because there's a possibility of me failing, and I think it would be actually even funnier if I do end up failing. So yeah, really, we're just waiting till 1461 in order to take land tradition here, because it's 25% cheaper to... Oh, actually, no, we want oral tradition, 25% monthly reform progress growth. Yeah. Aside from that, man, Arawak does have unique national ideas, which is the reason I played them in the first place. A stab discount, land force limit, land maintenance as a finisher. They actually aren't that bad. Infantry discount, production efficiency, global trade power, tolerance of heretics and max promoted cultures, infantry combat, diplo rep, land leader shock. So a decent bit of mill-focused ideas, and obviously the missions are really not important at all. We're also animist, which is, well, it's one of the worst religions in the game. Well, we're at 100 ducats. I mean, we can put down some of these right here. None of them are that good. This one is actually good, the Longhouse, but we're still prioritizing the ceremonial fire pit. After I put down those buildings, then I'll hire some advisors. Oh, never want to take that. Yeah, lose stab. Not like negative stab will do anything to us. Okay, well, we're almost at 20 devastation right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to do the most fun thing in the first 7 years of this game, and that's actually migrate. So there we go. It costs mill points to migrate, and now we've moved here. And if we click this right here, which costs admin points, which whatever, we want to use it, now all of this land is technically ours, if you don't know. So even though we're not here, you know, as an actually there, it is our land. And whenever we reform into a horde later on, this will, in fact, just, you know, end up being auto-colonized by us, and we will end up owning that directly. So we want to do this kind of as much as possible before the colonizers arrive, so we're as big as possible before the colonizers arrive. But aside from that, now we border Carib as well, which means we can actually go to war with them and take their tribal land. So I am going to spend a little bit of money on that. And, you know, give our ruler mill command right here and go and beat these guys' ass, because it's, well, something to do. All right, got 5 guys right here. Let's go ahead and declare. So it's tribal border feud, ladies and gentlemen. First war. Let's crush the Carib. I have crushed the Carib. Now I just need to siege them down. Very cool unit models too. Okay, we've defeated them. We'll get some money out of this as well. So there we go. Uyapari becomes a part of Arawak. Basically, I take this as my tribal land. But either way, Carib won't stop existing. They'll just end up moving somewhere. We don't have that peace deal just yet, which is like annex native nation, which will actually make them disappear. So we can kind of keep fighting these guys. But there we go. 15 ducats too. Excellent. And there we go. As we can see, this is now technically our land as well. There are also better, like, tier 1 government reforms right here. Clan Council kind of sucks ass. Federation or Chiefdom is, like, way better. Since the tribal development will get spread out between our provinces later, I think. But no point in wasting points or reform progress on switching. In the meantime, England's not on here, so we know France kicked their ass. Obviously, even though tech is, like, crazy expensive, we do at least have to keep taking mill right here just to get up to Miltech 6. Fun! Time to migrate again. Okay, finally got the stab back. There we go, just added this to our tribal land as well. So now we're technically 4 provinces large. We can take a mission as well. That doesn't really do anything for me. Wait, Angostura? Is that where the bitters are from? You know, the thing you put in cocktails? Also, I think there's no point in fighting Muisca right here because we can't actually take the land from them. We could fight Tyrona right here, but yeah, it's the same thing as Carib. We can't stack that much points, so yeah, we're just taking tech here. Oh shoot, the buildings are cheaper for some reason. Oh no, they're not. Okay. Hey, 200 ducats, baby. Oh. Now 200 ducats. There's the ceremonial fire pit. Perfect. Cheaper advisors, 50%. That's pretty powerful. And reform progress. So we gotta put that down. Wait, why was it 160? I thought it was 200. Why did it only take 160 away from me? Ceremonial fire pit is down, ladies and gentlemen. So now we got a reform progress growth of 0.7. Either way, time to migrate again and add this to our tribal land as well. It becomes more expensive the more you have, so yeah. And there it is. Excellent. Oral tradition, monthly reform progress plus 25%. Now we should be at 0.87. I thought it'd be more than that. Okay, next we're gunning for seasonal travel. Okay, next reform, 1474. Is it different to last time, man? I wonder what patch I played on back then. I actually have to see this. So, I know I always write it in my description. So, what could have changed? Because I think, you know, when I took a look at that video, by the 1490s, those guys were there. Yeah, it's on 1.31. So that's like 6 patches ago. Damn, a lot must have changed. Yeah, because now I remember, you don't reform in like 1490s. You do it like 1510s, I think, is when you take the last one. 1510s. Yeah, you can't even get Miltech 6 by then either. Yeah. Huh. This is dangerous, man. I think these are the most dangerous natives to play, because this is where they first come, if it's not the Caribbean. We can encourage divination. Taking a look at this, Brittany's on here, which I think means they probably got the Burgundian succession. Castile and Portugal aren't, though. Okay, migrated again, added this as tribal land again. Our truce with Carib is actually up. So, do they add a tribal land? They do. I wonder if we can take both of these. I guess we'll find out. There's tribal border feud. Wait, nope. No. We're also both Miltech 2, by the way. Oh, you can take both of these as tribal land. Perfect. Hold it right there. Are you enjoying this glorious return? And not only to EU4, but to a classic EU4 A to Z challenge? One of the first? I know I am. So if you are, leave a like. It lets me know that you want to see more videos like this. Leave a comment saying if you want to see more stuff like this or more EU4. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do it. Yes, Hans, I'm talking to you. You've been watching for so long and you haven't subscribed yet. Do it. All right, let's get back to Arawak. You know, I just hope we'll push them this way. Or this way or something like that. I hope we won't push them back down here or something, because that would suck. In the meantime, though, up to 100 ducats, which means we can put down the Longhouse as well. Even more monthly reform progress growth. Perfect, man. Perfect. What else did we want from here? Nothing really. Yeah, just the Longhouse, mainly. Cool. See, because Muisca is settled, they were able to kind of full annex those other tribal guys next to them, right? Either way, that's done. So we'll do this and 20 ducats. Wonderful. Yep, and we moved them in the right spot, so now all of this is our tribal land. Perfect, dude. Perfect. So now that the Longhouse is down, we got exactly 1 monthly reform progress growth, which is good. Okay, next thing, 1473. 6 more years. And at this point, actually, since we got the good buildings down that we wanted to, I can hire some advisors. Two advisors, and we don't lose money. Why, what do we want? I guess we want an admin guy and a mill guy. So yeah, let's just take this morale guy and then the prestige guy. Sure, and we're still making money. Good. Actually, this is pretty nice too. Oh, now I'm actually losing money, but we're probably in like a worse province. Yeah, this one produces sugar. The last one had coffee, so it kind of makes sense, I guess. Or, I don't know. There we go. Once again, got reform time. Now, over here, of course, you could go with settle down in a different type of playthrough where it actually stops you from being migratory anymore and you actually settle all of this land. But it does, I think, lock you into being a tribal country, which we don't want to do. So, yeah, we're just going with seasonal travel right here. It makes us cheaper for, you know, us to migrate. And we add a tribal development growth as well, which is down here. This is pretty much the dev of our country. So it's like, what is this? Like 6 plus, yeah, it's like 7 dev, dude. Or whatever, I don't know. Okay, now we're waiting for 1485. Yeah, 12 years, yeah. Okay, so if that's 1485, well, actually, well, yeah, it's like between 1500 and 1510. But we also still need Miltech 6, so bad news. It's 1476, and they're here. Castile and Portugal are here, dude. Already. My god, man. Dude, we're just a little over halfway, but they're here. Yeah. Castile is building this one. Portugal is building this one. I didn't think they'd be here this soon. Well, actually, it's 1476. I'd hope they went to the Caribbean first, which sometimes they do. Is that? No, that's not colonized, but they're in Brazil. Yeah, you can see why I'm going this way instead of this way, but soon it won't matter. Once they're done with this, they can pretty much reach the entire coastline. I just hope they don't go near me, especially not in my tribal land, which maybe we shouldn't have done coastal because of that, but oof, this is gonna be tricky, man. I don't remember it being like this. I didn't watch my video, by the way, to see what I did in the last one or when they arrived or whatever or how I fought them, but not good. Okay, the Portuguese just wrapped up their colony right here, which means they can officially reach me, I think. Also gotta kind of keep away from Muisca right here because they could potentially kick my ass. Okay, Portugal started up a second one right here, so they are gonna hard focus, I think, a little bit on Brazil, maybe at least until a colonial nation is established, so... Carib's gotten a decent bit of tribal land as well, so this is all gonna be ours. Alright, well, my truce with Carib is up. We can fight them again, and take, technically, all of, this. Alright, simple as always. Oh, we can't take all of it? What? Huh. I might as well take more. This is where their tribal development is and stuff like that, so, okay. We kind of locked them in over here, but it's fine. Yeah. Damn, now we need to migrate here and then here. So that's a bunch of points wasted. Yeah, these are getting expensive to add, man. 260. Whew. Okay, what's going on down here? 1, 2, I think they're doing 2 at the same time, no? No, they're not. They're doing 1. Where are their other colonies, dude? They should have a second guy by this point. So, both Portugal and Castile are sort of gunning for the same... I'm not even going to say region because Brazil is huge, but maybe, you know, for like the same general area, which you don't see too often. You know, we got Portugal here with 4, Castile with 2. All right, there's our 4th gov reform. This one is the one that matters least, so we'll just go with this. And now we know... Final reform, the one where we can turn into a horde. We can't, by the way, turn into a monarchy or a republic or a theocracy. We can only do that after we become a horde, or actually just continue being a tribe, which we don't want to do. We can do that December 1503, as long as it doesn't change. Let me wait for a month. It's actually April 1507. See, it lies. It lies. April 1507. So we'll get Miltech 5, 1492. And then I think we do have time to get Miltech 6 by then as well, you know, just so we don't wait on one thing too much. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting for 1507. If we encounter the colonizers before then, I think we're absolutely toast. And even if we encounter them after that, we probably might still be toast, but I guess we'll have to see. And there's some pain and suffering for about 18 more years. Parents, when a kid is born, be like... Of course, in the meantime, you know, we gotta keep spending mill points to migrate. So, even though it's a bit cheaper, there's Miltech 5, Miltech 6, 1502. So, quite a lot sooner than this right here, but yeah. I think at this point, too, we stop moving around into new land and settling that because we need admin points. Alright, so colonial nations are starting to get established, which is actually good, which means we can fight, for example, Portuguese Brazil without fighting Portugal and grow our power even more in order to defeat the colonizers themselves. Because listen, it's not can we defeat the colonial nations, it's can we defeat the colonizers. Truce with Carib is up, however, they have done the building, you know, which allows them to build like more troops and whatnot. Probably, let's go ahead and check, which is, yeah, that one, the fortified house. So now they're, you know, bigger than me. I am losing money currently. We could fight them to take all of this from them, but it involves building up a little bit and going over force limit, even though I am a Miltech ahead of them. I just don't want to be taking on loans, you know, because they're so small. Well, Portugal is in the Caribbean as well. Brazil is growing. Castile... yeah, they went down to Argentina. So far, I don't know if we're getting lucky or not, but it's looking pretty good for us. And there it is, folks, Miltech 6. Now all we gotta do is wait for, this. November 1st, yeah? A little over a year. Good. There it is. We can finally reform into a horde, ladies and gentlemen. The Great Plains call to us. Now, obviously, there's a different way to kind of like modernize yourself and whatnot, I guess, with guys bordering you and whatnot, but... you know, we never wait for that, because if we do become a horde, like we are gonna do it right now, we end up settling all of this land right here. But we can also... frick, I should have actually moved from here, because now my capital is 50% devastated. I should have migrated over to here or something like that. Okay, a little bit of a mistake. But, more importantly, we can actually dev for institutions. And we can get feudalism, renaissance, colonialism, blah, 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 all of that good stuff. However, it's not actually that good for us to be a horde, so we do want to eventually make our way down to a monarchy, which enables us to make money. So we're this, doesn't really matter. We're going to go martial society plus 20% national manpower. Then we're going to go lip service right here. Over here, we're going to go sustained discipline. Over here, let's just go with the gov capacity, and now we just need to actually wait in order to be able to reform into a monarchy. But in the meantime, this should be free. Yes, it is. So we can full state everything over here for free. This is technically, well, not even technically, this is all of the land that we own right now. We are going to be losing money, blah, 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 doesn't really matter. Now we can fight Carib, make them disappear. Same with Muisca, and maybe even get some idea groups going and colonize even more, because, or maybe we wait for Brazil to reach us. Maybe we wait for Brazil to reach us. Either way, best part is now we got estates, not all of the estates, just the tribes, because, well, we're a horde, but we can take... I don't know, larger tribal hosts, for example, right? We should also probably promote Carib. But we're making money. Loans are big now. There's some other mission down there, another mission down there. We can send this guy off to collect there, for example, and we can buff up our army significantly. Not afraid to take loans out now either. So there we go. We'll put down like 16 of those guys. Okay, army's all here, and as a horde, obviously we should have the... oh, nice, we can get the points. We should have that CB. Tribal Conquest, yep, there it is. They're actually allied to Muisca, which brings in Chimu, which we don't care about. Let's do it. Meanwhile, first time seeing the actual Castilian troops, the Conquistador, obviously, you know, they're exploring the continent. And that's a full annex on both of these guys. Perfect. Now, because we're a horde, we can actually raise, which I will do, you know, while we're able to do it. Oh, shoot. Wrong peace deal, damn. Okay, Carib still exists. We got a mega truce with them now, but I guess we'll wipe them out when we wipe them out. But yeah, there we go. That's about as much as growth we can do right now. We got a lot of points. I don't want to pour them in. Yeah, we should just dev for feudalism and stuff like that, man. Our capital is actually not that expensive. It's a pretty stupid province to develop, honestly. It's a savanna, which makes it 15% more expensive. Maybe we do it on the coastline, something. Well, bumped feudalism here because we turned into a horde. We can we can see actually Asia, which is pretty cool. There's Castile and Portugal too, because obviously we know about them. Nothing too weird, honestly. Nothing too weird. Everything seems pretty standard. Ming didn't blow up. Oirat is warned by Ming, but they don't have the tributaries. Hey, perfect. Exactly the event I was waiting for. Dude, I'm a genius. I can get knowledge sharing from Castile. Didn't even have to do feudalism. Embracing feudalism will be sped up in a capital area. But is that... I thought it would be for the other ones. Listen, before we beat them, we have to join them, so... Meanwhile, though, no one's going for, like, Colombia. So we, you know, don't border any of these guys to get institutions from them or to fight them. So we gotta chill for a little bit longer. I'm debating on whether to pick up, like, exploration expansion or just, you know, wait for these guys to come to me. But then again, it's not like we can expand unless they come to me. Obviously, if we were to get into a war right now with the actual overlords, we'd be crushed. But the colonies we can easily take down. Well, I wonder, do we build up a navy and fight Caribas right here? Probably only need like 5 galleys and 5 transports, honestly. Frick it, we'll do it. Oh, but no, we can't do it. I can't get a CB on Caribas. Yeah, not unless they colonize something here, for example. Alright, I took out loans to embrace feudalism, so now we're maxed on some things. I wonder if I can ask for knowledge sharing again. Okay, we actually don't even need to ask. We're getting Renaissance. This is from Castile, I think. Okay, in that case, man, it's time for a first idea group. How far are we behind in Miltech, for example? So we're 6. If we take a look at the... We're quite far off. I was gonna say we pick up a mill idea group to buff our army, but we can't. We just can't, can we? We gotta keep up with tech pretty much. Huh. What do we go with then? I don't know. Expansion? That's gonna slow us down in admin. We need something from here, that's the thing. Maritime? Would be good to get a good navy going, but definitely don't need exploration. Honestly, I'm just gonna pick up like trade. Hey, wait, is that Caribas? It is. I actually can spy on them. Are they done with it? They're still doing it, but... Yeah, that enables me to get a CB. Or maybe we're still too far behind, dude. 7 versus 9. They got 6k. Should be able to take him, though. Okay, I had to use this menu to fabricate a claim on Aruba, but we got it now. Maybe we beat these guys up and then fight them? Alright, back the next day here, and you know, after thinking about this, man, I think it's too risky. You know, there are 2 techs over us. They've grown a little bit after we, you know, got a claim on them. So they started, you know, preparing for war and stuff like that. And I don't think I can get enough war score that fast to where Portugal won't threaten peace or whatever. But either way, we're still going to go ahead and declare on Carib right here and actually wipe them out this time. But in the meantime, we can finally reform into a monarchy, which of course will help a lot more with making money and stuff like that. There it is. And of course now we do have, well, as soon as we let a month take over all of the estates. So there we go. Just like that, we're a monarchy, ladies and gentlemen. I think we can go mandala system, but obviously we're not going to be playing with subjects. I like the Eastern plutocracy. This one is decent as well if we go merchant and money making and stuff like that. I did go with trade either way. Yeah, let's go with that. Why not? It's funny. Eastern plutocracy Arawak. Either way, now we can set up the estates, which is excellent. There's the mill points, there's increased levies, the cheaper advisor. That's all we need from them. From the merchants, land, patronage, commercial, and indebted. This is going to help me pay off some, you know, actual loans and stuff like that. admin points, cheaper advisors, religious, diplomats. That actually doesn't that matter that much, but I'm gonna take it, and clerical education. Then we can summon the diet. We can also sell titles and seize land. Perfect. With that, we can actually embrace the Renaissance, which is awesome. There's Miltech 8, so now we're not that far behind, at least in Miltech. It'll enable us to catch up pretty quickly, and I think colonialism is not spreading. Maybe I need to ask Castile again. Either way, over here, we of course are gonna strengthen noble privileges. I know you guys want to see that. Let me just take a look at this right here. Ask for knowledge sharing. Yeah, we just need to improve a bit. They did form Spain, I guess. Scornful insult to the Ottomans won't hurt. And cool, we can actually ask them for colonialism, which is perfect. Okay, you know, now of course we know that we devved this for no reason whatsoever, but it's fine. Let's go ahead and declare. Oh. Wait, now I'm not a horde anymore. All right, I got a claim on these dudes. They went away. It's fine. And now all I gotta do is remember to use the, you know, annex tribal nation or whatever. Another idea group time. Gotta go with something admin here. Maybe we do pick up expansion. Yeah, the only reason I'm doing these is, like I said, I can't afford to pick a mill idea group and fall behind on Miltech. So, yeah, frick it. We'll do expansion. We'll colonize a little bit. Still good, by the way. No one is colonizing next to us, which, as good as it is, it's also not that good because it doesn't enable us to grow. I gotta, you know, yeah, wait. But so far, obviously not threatened by anyone, at least immediately. There we go, we've beaten these guys, and there it is, Annex Migratory Tribe. Okay, so now they completely disappear off the map. Perfect, they're like the only ones we wanted to do that on, so we're chilling. Oh, dude, we're actually making money finally. Portuguese Brazil is growing pretty big along the coastline. I think once we get the colonists, we start, like, going this way, and once we get connected and everything, we could fight Portuguese Brazil. Well, there's the colonist. We're right here, so I'm just gonna go native repression. Let's just send them off here. Okay, so if this is where the bitters are from, is this where the sugar is from? Or is that Demerara? Because I buy that sugar, but it's from, like, Mauritius or whatever, not from... Well, what is here? The Guianas or whatever? Suriname? Oh, it's actually super cheap to attack natives. Nice. Okay, well... France is here. France is here, so... Obviously, they got enough room to establish a colonial nation in colonial Colombia. That's one thing. Which, of course, is going to enable us to expand more if we let them do their thing. However, they could decide to declare on us at any point. And France... How do I discover them? Frick. I can't discover them. I guess they need to colonize it. Yeah, I don't know how powerful France is. Obviously, very powerful. Obviously, very powerful. Not good. Or could be good. We'll see. Meanwhile, Spain is just ravaging Peru, which... slowly catching up on Miltech. Caribas is 10. I've actually reached 10 as well. Yeah, Spain itself is 11, I guess, but yeah. And so is France. But okay, at least we're not behind on that anymore. But still, you know, with numbers and with the economy, we can't beat them. Our heir is excellent, though, and our ruler just died, which means, yeah, this guy, hopefully he doesn't die. Either way, tier 3 gov reform time, I'm just gonna go with that. We can actually form Colombia or Venezuela, which is something I've never done in EU4, but this ain't that type of playthrough, you know? Oh, I just got Diamonds Are Forever, the event. That's pretty nice, too. Okay, France is done here, so I officially discovered them. Excellent. Wow, and they only have 94 allies. I don't see an easy way to do this. I don't see an easy way to do this. If nothing else, Spain will always be here unless they colonize some more in Brazil, which I don't think they can aside from that. Well, they can, but they're not doing it. They're focusing on Peru. Probably in Mexico as well, even though we can't see it. France does seem like the worst one to fight. No, Spain is... actually, Spain is worse. Spain is worse. France actually might be the easiest. Good news, though. France is continuing to colonize. As soon as they have 5 over here, a colonial nation will form and we'll be able to fight it. Colony is done. I am going to continue heading towards Brazil. Okay, only 2 more loans left now. We're actually making okay money. Paid off the burger loans, which in turn helped me pay off other loans. New burger loans, ladies and gentlemen. In 1543... Shoot, we could embrace colonialism. I was going to say it's time to put down our first buildings, but no, I'm going to embrace colonialism. A Miltech 11. Okay. How are we doing now? Still behind, but nothing crazy. We're actually ahead of these guys, but we still need more boats to be able to exact faster faster conquest on them. Maybe we do that. Maybe now we try with good Miltech and making money. I need to be able to land my entire army at once. That's the thing. We need to go way over naval force limit here. I'm actually going to take out a couple of regular loans. Let's pick up like, yeah, even more than this, man. Even more than this, like 30 transports, 15 galleys. Oh, we can see Mexico for some reason. Spain actually isn't there after all. Okay. Where the hell did these guys come from? Oh, they're probably actually leaving Peru, walking around to here or something like that. Jesus Christ. I got so worried, bro. They've got like 50k right here. It's getting tense, boys. You can see the tension rising. Okay, so the Navy has been built up, and I've actually loaded the army on already. I got 22k. Took out even more loans for that, so now we're losing even more money, obviously, because we're also over naval force limit. And I will officially border Brazil soon. However, I do need someone to own, either me or them, these, so I'm actually connected to all of it. But we'll deal with that when we deal with that. Right now, it's time to declare on Caribas, who are almost done colonizing the entirety of the Caribbean. They got 25 boats, 15k. I'm actually Miltech 12 now, so we should be able to do this before Portugal can enforce peace. I'm just saying it now. If Portugal says, hey, stop that, I will. I will stop that, and we'll bide our time. There's our declaration. First time on a colonial subject. Let's go ahead and land in their capital. Gotta be quick, gotta bomb the fort, gotta do everything. Okay, we have landed. War is going great. Portugal obviously had no time to enforce peace, boys. So I'm just sieging everything here. All right, I don't think there's a need to siege anything further. I'm doing everything for no reason at this point. Now, we do actually have a problem with this because Caribas obviously has... Wait a minute. It doesn't? I was gonna say they probably have more war score than we can annex, which in turn means that Portugal could do a reconquest on us. But we can take everything. Right? Is this all owned by them? Why can't I click that? Dominica. Martinique. Saint Martin. Okay. Turks Island. Where is that? That's over here. We can't see it. That's a full annex. So we can do a full annex on these guys. I'm doing it then. My main trade node is the Caribbean anyway. Cool. Very cool. Okay, everyone is gonna be mega mad. Well, everyone, not everyone. The colonial nations. These guys, I don't think will care. Let's core this up. We can actually even upgrade to a kingdom right here. Awesome. That's a lot of growth. That's actually a lot of growth and a lot of power over there. Wrong religion and wrong culture, but still, dude. And Brazil is right here too. We could go in on them, even though their borders are really jank, and me owning everything from here to here is a little too much. Oh, now the problem is, unless the Bahamas are uncolonized, which they could be, or it could be owned by Spain, Portugal can't actually form another colonial nation here, because look, they've started up these 4 immediately. Or actually, it's only 3. Okay, so that is gonna remain in Portugal's hands forever. However, that is a good way of us being able to beat the colonizers, because we build up a mega navy and just declare in Portugal straight up. Right? Eh, maybe not. Alright, so yeah, gonna need a lot of admin points to full state this as well. That's what's gonna make us make money. In the meantime, France is continuing the colonization down here, which means Colombia could form, which would be good. So far so good. Don't want to jinx it. Okay, officially coring everything. Okay, damn, I just paid off the loans, dude. And we're actually making like 3 or 4 ducats a month with army and fleet maintenance down. It seems that it's been decided for me. Okay, so this isn't even a reconquest or anything. Obviously, we didn't have a truce with Portugal because, well, we never fought Portugal. It's not even a reconquest or anything like that. Portugal just straight up declared on me. Now, the good thing about this is State Colony Martinique. That's one I just finished that I took from these guys. The good thing is I'm only fighting Portugal. We could end up also fighting Spain and Britain, which would be absolutely horrible. But just Portugal maybe ain't that bad, because Portugal brings in Brazil, which is someone we could try and farm war score on. In fact, it's just Portugal and Brazil. Now, they got a lot of heavies. No galleys, though, which 15 galleys versus 6 heavies, I can't take that, no way. But we could potentially get war score somehow. Now, obviously, this is the war. This is the war that we need to defeat the colonizers in. Because it's not one we declared, obviously I haven't built up, you know, in fact, I'm just doing one of the first buildings right now, as you can see. In fact, I'm going to cancel that. We haven't built up our army. We haven't built up our navy even more. I haven't put down strategic forts. None of this is even cored, let alone a full cored, full stated. So we're not as powerful as I want to be. But it has to be an all-out war. So max loans, max mercs, maybe even try and build up heavies. Honestly, maybe even try and build up heavies. Diplotech plays a big role over here. I can't beat their boats. It's 13 over 8. We're saying Miltech, but they probably got like mill idea groups as well. Let's check that out. They got quality, which makes their boats even more powerful. Could win it, but it's gonna be tough. Okay, the thing is though, I don't even know where to begin, man. Hey, this will help a bit with the war. Okay, full stating, half stating everything during this war. That might help a little bit. Just take out new burger loans. Frick. Now the war goal is Martinique. We need to be weary of that. I'm gonna start spamming up some galleys here, man. And even some heavies, if I'm being honest. Definitely gotta be careful walking into Brazil right here. Brazil got about the same army as us. They don't have any mill ideas, so we should be able to roll them. But a Portuguese army could be hiding out here. So far, I'm not seeing any movement. As you can see, I've taken the free company to get a little bit of war score on this. Got 7% war score so far. Obviously, a win, boys, would be to take, you know, anything from Portugal, man. Even one, what you call it, like a war score worth of stuff, like 39.8 ducats. What I would consider a real win is taking land that's actually directly owned by Portugal. Like, even just one of these, I think would be a real win. But yeah, so far no movement, man. Oh, actually, what the hell? Yes, movement. That's Brazil right there. I got the Mosquito Coast Company up. Will arrive in Guacipati. There. Okay. We need to turn back and fight them. But yeah, obviously, you know, not to take anything away, but this is by far the easiest way this could have been done, just fighting a colonizer solo. Obviously, I'm not even considering Brazil here, even though they are quite large. But yeah, us declaring on someone would have definitely been way harder, even though actually, oh, that's just Spanish Peru. Yeah, someone like Spain with allies, Portugal with allies, France with allies, Britain with allies. But this is still a win, man. This is, well, could be a win. Let's not jinx it. Okay, we could catch these guys right here. This should be a, break, they're too fast. Nope, just caught them. Decent bit of war score. Decent bit of war score. Got some boats right here too. Oh, those are easily beatable, man. Finally got more than 10% war score. Obviously, Portugal is nowhere close to giving up because, well, they're still positive. But maybe with some more occupations on Brazil, man. I'm not seeing their army yet, which is good. And they got 40k. They got 40k. How many transports do they have? 16. Well, just got the new boats right here. Obviously, we could upgrade them. Our push into Brazil continues. I'm scouting ahead, obviously, with the Navy. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Obviously, they would. Low on manpower. In debt. Now, once again, a good thing is, well, France isn't really solo, but you know what I mean. We probably could beat their navy, if I'm being honest. But then well, you know, if we win Portugal, if we win this war, the wars is done, right? The video is done. We've achieved our goal, but I'm actually gonna try and beat France too. I'm actually gonna try and beat France. We just need to get out of this as fast as possible. That's the thing. And France will probably be landing troops since they don't actually have a colonial nation here that they think can do stuff for them. In that case, I need to pull the boats back and stop them from landing. France has got like these guys here. I'm blockading 3 of their heavies. It's I can't piece this one out, dude. I also got my ass beat here, so... Good thing France is stupid, or they could roll me easily, man. Oh my god, Portugal's at least willing to white piece. Ah, frick me. Okay, went back here. Portugal's on medium. I can take land. In fact, I can take all of the Caribbean. Well, all of the Caribbean is 3 provinces. Ladies and gentlemen, as Arawak, we have officially crushed the colonizers. Let's do it again. Yeah, as far as I can tell, these guys are pretty dumb, because if you guys remember, man, I never once actually fought a Portuguese army in that war that Portugal declared. It was only Brazil, and not even that many battles. It was mainly occupations and me farming war score off of defending Martinique. Now, over here, the war goal is Bogota, which they haven't actually even occupied. So we can get the war score back easily. And of course, a win versus France is the same thing. Ideally, take at least 99.8 ducats, but really, it would be to, you know, take land from them. And actually, look, the colonial nation is formed. It's French Colombia, and this is still owned by France. How did it form with... Oh, they got 5, okay. We're chasing the Scottish and French armies through the jungles. Oh my god, dude. So I was walking through here, I got... these guys migrated as I walked in. I got black flag. Freaking France working with the natives? I guess they've kind of always been the ones to do that, though, weren't they? Kind of. Assholes, mosquito. I can't walk through them, dude. Oh, yes, I can. Not even that bad. I'm just beating up rebels in the meantime, dude. And look, we're only losing 41 ducats a month. How many more loans can I take here, dude? I got 26 loans. 39. It's actually not that bad. I don't think I'm gonna go bankrupt. They're not willing to accept this. It's actually quite a bit away. Who's that? All right, got a little more war score after I finally beat their tiny little army and occupied this thing that Scotland, you know, started colonizing. And should I take this too? Ah, freak Scotland, dude. We defeated the colonizers twice. Took land from them twice after they declared on us twice. And it wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even that bad, dude. Look, not even everything is full stated right here, man. I still need you. I haven't even started pouring anything that I took from these guys. Just goes to show how much more, seriously I started taking, you know, EU4 after the first couple of seasons when you guys were like, all right, you need to lock in. But also just how much, you know, our skills have grown. After you know, we started playing A to Z as well, all the way back in season A, by the way. Like I said, I played Arawak last time, November, I think it was, 2021. Yeah, takes you back, but you know, we've officially avenged a failed A to Z attempt for the first time. Like I said, I'm not starting a series like that or anything like that, but let me know if you do want to see maybe more videos like this. But I think at this point, man, I mean, we've proven it. We set out to crush the colonizers, to defeat them, as one of the weakest, maybe the weakest colonial, native nation. And we did it not once but twice after they declare on us. I don't think there's anything more to be said here, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's a pretty good place to wrap it up. So yeah, like I said, man, leave a like if you enjoyed this video. That lets me know you want to see more videos like this. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see similar videos to this, or maybe we revisit some of the more fun or iconic A to Z failures. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing all of them in a row, even though Arawak actually probably isn't even the first one. I guess Aachen would be it, right? But yeah, nevertheless, very, very fun. And subscribe, obviously, for more EU4 and more content like this. But I think that is a pretty good place to wrap it up. Yeah, Arawak. Awesome country. I'm probably the only person in the world that's played them twice. Unless they're, like, from there or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for me for now. See you next time.